I, 32 man, am divorcing my wife, 33, after finding out that my son, 5, is not mine. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I found out that my wife cheated on me 6 years ago. The way I found out is that her sister told me after going to visit her to find out how the delivery of her first child was. She confessed to me that 6 years ago, my wife told her that she slept drunk with her best friend, in her words. My wife was very sorry. At the time, she told me I was with my son, and immediately after leaving her house, I went to take a paternity test with him, fearing the worst. A week later, I got the results and my fears came true. My son was not mine. For some reason, I began to see the boy differently, more as an acquaintance than a son. With proof in hand, I confronted my wife at night when the child was sleeping. She asked me who told me, and I simply told her that is none of her business, although obviously it will not take long to connect the dots that it was her sister. Well, that is not my problem now. Regardless of that, I asked her for a divorce, which is now in process. She was devastated. She swore to me more than once that nothing would happen with anyone again, that she has been faithful to me in body and soul since then. I held back the urge to insult her to avoid complications during the divorce issue, not believing a word she said, mostly blaming the alcohol instead of taking the blame herself. After talking about it, she threatened me saying that she would demand full custody of the child. I was so annoyed at that moment that I told her, okay, I don't want anything to do with something that is not mine, that she kept the child and I'll keep the dogs. We have 2 dogs. We have 2 dogs that we adopted as puppies, and they are currently 8 years old each. After my words, she tried to convince me to take care of the child with her, that I am his father. At that moment, I exploded. I was so angry, and I had held back so much the urge to scream that I just yelled her to go and take her bastard with her. A week has passed since that, and I am at home. It is in my name because it is a gift from my parents. She went to her parents' house with her kid. She has not called me since then. She left with everything and the half a sleep kit when I yelled at her. Especially since it was the first time I yelled at her, it sure affected her. I talked to my parents and my dad told me that I did the right thing and that I shouldn't be raising something that is not of my blood. I agree with him. However, the pain is still there. My younger brother told me to write here to entertain myself. I am currently seeing a therapist 3 times a week, who told me that I have already taken the first step, which was to leave behind what causes me pain. It just hurts to know that my family no longer exists. Regarding why my sister-in-law told me everything, according to her, she felt guilty seeing me always happy with my son, knowing that he may not be mine, and that the fact that we went to visit her in a moment of weakness caused her to completely break down with guilt. I don't know how true that is. I just know that right now I feel tremendous hatred for my wife and a feeling between pain and resentment for the child. Although it's just time to get ahead. I just hope the divorce goes smoothly. We have separate finances and properties, and if she asks for child support, I have proof that it's not mine. According to my lawyer, that's more than enough if she tries a legal process for that. My therapist also recommended that I not see him, nor her, that regardless of the child's feelings, I should focus on my own first, that the child is no longer my problem, and the sooner I accept it, the better. Comment 1. Y'all talking crazy out here, lol. The dude said how devastated he was and how hard it is for him to get over this infidelity. Yet y'all want him to act the same with the literal embodiment of that infidelity. Weird. No, I'm not saying the child deserves this devastating change in his life, but neither does the OP. And if y'all would actually stop and think, y'all would see it was she who caused this detestation, not him. No one deserves to live a lie, just because it was a successful one for many years. And y'all know nothing about this woman, her family, or the biological father. Maybe it's better if there is a clean cut with the child so that other bonds may form. Yes, it takes a village to raise a family, and if he decides to be part of that village, more power to him. But if not, no shame in that. That village causes him pain anyway. Y'all talk from the peanut gallery about the sanctity of the child and the duty of a man, who is hurt and looking for psychological relief from betrayal. Y'all ask for that. At least empathize first. At least, the last thing you actually want is for him to be around a child he resents, and that is a symbol of hurt, failure, and betrayal. Instead, y'all look at this child in a vacuum and preach like y'all believe it'll get you into heaven while disregarding the obvious hurt and pains this must all have caused. Are you literally asking him to be on the hook for this lie for a lifetime? Just cause she was successful at keeping it for 6 years. Crazy. Comment 2. As I'm reading these comments, it's just disgusting that most of y'all are referring to OP as the asshole in this situation. First and foremost, the wife is an asshole because she committed adultery with someone that she wasn't married to. Then blame the alcohol instead of taking accountability. Second, OP didn't know about the affair until it was revealed by the sister. The wife confided in her sister and never bothered telling OP. He was oblivious and in the dark about his wife's affair. Lastly, OP has the right to do what is best for his mental health. I will advise him to look into the family law in the state he lives in. Some courts will remove your name off the birth certificate. Others won't due to the fact that you were married to the child's mother. I firmly believe in mandatory paternity tests at birth or if they offer prenatal paternity testing for fathers in doubt. I'm seeing a number of women who committed paternity fraud and are not held accountable. Everyone is saying that the child is innocent in this situation, which is true. But no one should not be deceived into believing that they are the father when there was doubt from the wife. It's up to OP if he wants to continue to care for the child. The problem is that if he does, then the wife gets what she wants by having OP, paying for the child care expense and not father in question. The wife is not going to be held accountable for deceiving OP. Story update. Well, 2 weeks have passed since my first publication and 3 weeks since everything happened. Not many relevant things have really happened, but here is a short summary. Approximately 3 days after my publication, my ex came to my house and asked to come in. I went out and met her at the door. I told her that she is not going to set foot in my house while I am here. If she is going to say anything, let it be at the door. Well, she practically begged me to take her son back, that if I want to cut off all contact with her, that's fine, that she deserves it, but that she can't raise a child alone, that she has job, that raising him alone is going to destroy her dream of being a notary. She works in public records and is 2 more years away from running for the judiciary to get a vacancy to have her own notary. I tried to explain to her in the calmest way I could that my therapist is the one who recommended me to cut off all contact with the two of them and to please leave my door before I lose my mind. I love the child, but I don't want to take out my anger on an innocent, even less considering that this innocent is the product of her inability to keep her legs closed. I said this last thing with a bit of anger, but I never raised my voice because we were on the street, that the child deserves better and that she is currently responsible, giving it to him. I don't know how, but that's not my problem anymore. After that, we talked a little more. She resisted the urge to try to cry and make a scene because once again, we were on the street and she is someone who always she took into account what people said about her. The last thing she asked me was to at least let her see the dogs. I told her, no, that the best thing is for them to get used to her absence. See her again after so much time will only make them euphoric. After that, she just nodded and left. 2 days after that, she called me when she received the divorce papers. My mistake was answering the phone, because immediately after about 30 minutes, she was yelling, to which I later managed to say that the papers must have the number of my civil lawyer, so she can call her if she has any questions. After that, I silenced her number. She's not come to my house since then, nor tried to call again. That same day, I contacted a friend that I made during my master's degree, and I told her to go out. She accepted, and well, we've been going out since then. Finally, last Friday, I told her to be an exclusive couple, and she accepted. She has stayed asleep at my house for a few days. She already knows my dogs and adores them, which I appreciate because I couldn't start something with someone who doesn't accept my pets. We are currently taking things easy. She knows the drama I am having with my ex and the child, and she respects my decision. She asked me if I will ever have contact with the child again. I told her maybe when he is of age to understand my decisions, but that I don't expect it to interfere with my life in the future, to which she just nodded and was glad that I take myself as a priority during this process. Maybe this took a little longer than I expected, but this is the summary of what happened these days. And, well, many people have been asking me for an update, so here it is. Update comment. 1. This thread. That is wrong. You are terrible. No, it is not his fault. His wife could have done a million things differently before it got to this point. She 100% constructed this whole scenario and screwed over her child. Incel. I can smell you through the computer. 1. Fellas, does it make you an incel to not want to be tricked into raising another dude's child for 5 years? Has anyone commenting here used any empathy for OP? Being told that your whole family you started was a lie. Having your entire world pulled out from under you. OP could literally be a danger to himself and those around him right now, but the Reddit specialists have decided he is shitty for not living under the same roof as someone he probably has psychotic rage against, and an innocent child who happens to come from a man he trusted who impregnated his wife and dipped, leaving him to raise his son. You right, Reddit. You right. Anyone who disagrees is an incel. Good talk. Update. Comment 2. You're so weird, Reddit. Fake or not fake. Y'all don't live in the real world, it feels like. She cheated and then lied for 6 years. She demanded full custody as a threat, then demanded he financially support them as he's the father. Y'all just expect someone to sacrifice their life, probably their future, because of a lie. The child isn't innocent, and it really sucks they won't have that dad. But it's unreasonable to expect someone to accept that intense of a lie-based burden. There are no good answers, but I do not fault this guy in the slightest. Seriously, what kind of life would this guy have if he just stayed? Y'all want him to fight for full custody, shared custody of a child that's not his. Y'all obviously don't just want him to pay child support. I mean, legally, his name is on the birth certificate and it's been 5 years. So the courts will make him pay because they don't care about fair. They just care the state doesn't have to assist the mom. But y'all just saying, won't someone think of the children over and over? Personally, I also feel for the guy who's the actual father and for his kid. They both missed out 6 years being in each other's lives because she lied. Thanks for watching and your time invested. This is incredible. Lots of love goes out to you. I hope you enjoyed it. A like is always appreciated. By the way, your opinion in the comments is interesting to the whole community. Let us know about it. You are the biggest. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell. That way, you won't miss anything. I wish you another relaxing day. Take care of yourself, and I'm looking forward to your next visit on my channel.